Hi everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Today we're going to take a look at an ESEE knife, that's ESEE knives, formerly known as rat cutlery. What you get with this knife package is right here, the knife, a sheath. You get two survival tip cards that come with it. They're both the same. One is a paper cardboard and the other is a laminated sort of credit card like, and just has basic information on it, what to do when you're lost, how to build a shelter, navigation, signaling, that kind of thing. And then on the front there's an acronym with survival tips made from the word survival and little tips for each letter of the word survival. So it's handy to have there. You also get the information about the knife that comes with it. It just gives some basic information there about the knife and its parts and components. The sheath of this knife I want to talk about first. We've seen a lot of survival knives come down the pipe, but this has got to be one of the most impressive ones, I must say, and it's because of both the sheath and the knife. It's a great outfit. Talking about the sheath first, starting at this end, it does come with a pommel cover. So I'll demonstrate that for you. When the knife is placed in the sheath, it locks in like that, and then the pommel can be encapsulated with this cover here. There is a cord lock around some paracord, so it can be cinched down tight like that. And then of course there is a snap retainer like that. So that's what it looks like in the sheath. Nice and protected there. We'll take it out. We'll get to the knife in a second. That's one nice feature about this sheath. It does, if you're not using it, it does collapse down and stay down with Velcro. So the Velcro holds it down there. It can be used in a belt carry, just in a traditional belt at the belt there. It also has here. It has a ring that it can be put on webbing. See if I can get a shot of that for you. You can see that ring there. On the back, it is MOLLE compatible, as you can see, and the construction of this sheath is made of two different components. It's made of Kydex here, and bonded to that is this cordura piece. It's connected to the sheath with 4 screws. So it's removable if you want, but to keep it on, you've got these 4 Chicago screws that attach it to the Kydex, and it provides you the retainer, the pommel cover with the drawstring, the webbing insert there, as well as you can make it just a regular belt carry. The retainer, I love this retainer. It's well thought out. It's got a couple of nice features on it. First of all, it's adjustable. You don't see that too often. It can be adjusted here with Velcro, so you can make it as tight or as loose as you want. And then it comes here with a D-ring. There's a little. It's been separated there with that ring. So when you open it up, that just falls back and lays back there out of the way when you're drawing the knife. That's a nice handy feature. Another feature I like about this sheath is that it's the tension. It's a friction sheath, and this pinch right here, this pinch point there, is duplicated on the other side as well. So that's right there. That's where the knife is pinched, and that tension can be adjusted with this screw right here. With that screw all the way down, it's at its loosest setting, and with that, loosen it up and then slide it forward and then tighten it up to here, and that will adjust it to a tighter setting. So you can actually adjust the tension that the sheath clicks with, that it locks into with. Very, very nice there. You don't see that too often. You can see that the sheath here has plenty of tie downs It's got 17 of them. So that can if you did decide to remove the Cordura backing, then you've certainly got plenty of tie downs. Plus you can use those for threading paracord and wrapping paracord around the sheaths just to use it as storage for paracord. You can see that it is molded to the shape of the blade, so that the knife does fit in only in one way according to the shape of the blade. There is a water drain here at the bottom there, and you know, I mean, it is just a really well thought out, hard wearing sheath. I like the extra attention to detail that they've put into it with the, you know, with the pommel cover there, the adjustable retainer, the little D-ring there, the adjustable tension on that, the removable Cordura if you want. It's MOLLE compatible, plenty of tie downs, drainage hole. It's just a really good sheath, and that's an excellent rugged sheath for you. Now moving on to the knife itself. There you go. Hardly fits in the frame. This is obviously, you know, of the machete variety, but it is a survival knife. And categorized as such. Technical specs on this. That's a 10.5-inch blade. It's made of 1095 carbon steel, and it does have the black powder coat on it to protect it from rust and corrosion. As 1095 is a great choice for a hard use, rugged survival knife application. The only downside is that it can rust and corrode if it gets wet for a prolonged period. So it does receive this black powder coat, which will protect it. But you know, you do want to make sure that if you do get it wet, you wipe it off and keep it dry. It is 3/16 of an inch thick steel. That is a good thick slab of steel. It does have a saber grind. The saber grind is basically a flat grind that begins below the spine, and in this case it begins only just, I'd say only just maybe 1/3 of an inch below the spine, so it's a high saber grind. The weight of the knife is 22.5 ounces, knife alone. With the sheath, the whole kit is 33 ounces. So that is you can see that is a handful of a knife, and wow, you've really got some horsepower in your hand there. This is, you know, ESEE makes great knives. I've never seen one that isn't an impressive knife, but this one has turned my head, I must say. Probably just because of the size and the horsepower that you've got there. That is a purebred survival knife. It is full tang construction, of course. Let's get a close-up on that blade. Made in the USA, nice to see. There you can see that powder coat on there, and that'll protect your knife. And there you can see what I was talking about the grind. A full flat grind you wouldn't see that bevel there. The grind would have begun all at the spine. But if you get a flat grind that begins somewhere below the spine, then that's a saber grind. And in this case, it's a high saber grind since it begins so high up. It's, you know, it's got a very basic utility shape. It retains the strength of the point and of the steel right out there. You can see that 3/16 of an inch. I mean, it just keeps it the whole way. On the other side, you've got the ESEE logo there, and you know, it was Randall Adventure and Training, ESEE knives. As far as sharpness, I was really surprised. You know, a machete typically it has has more of a utility edge on it, but this is surprisingly sharp. I mean, it's got an edge on it that you would expect to find on a knife, and it's got a knife's edge sharpness on it. But it doesn't sacrifice anything though, because that thickness it's thick right out to the very end. It just that secondary bevel is what does it, and comes in between a 25 and 30 degree angle, and they've just done it just right. It's got a real good edge on it. The handle is canvas micarta, and it's really a comfortable handle. All of the edges all around have been rounded and softened. There's not a sharp angle or edge on it. It's comfortable to hold. It just fits and feels natural. The shape of it is just right. Now it's got a nice front, hand guard here. So that's good to see. But of course, this is the kind of knife that you're going to be swinging like that. So you're gonna want, it curves this way to catch in your hand like that. That's not going to go flying out of your hand. No way. That is locked in, and that it feels good. On the back here, you've got a pommel, a hammering pommel with a lanyard. Let's get a close-up on that handle. It really feels good. Micarta, as you know, is a very rugged, laminated, man-made kind of material, and it'll serve well for many years. You can see how it's been softened all around, smooth. The handle is held on with Allen screws, and that is a 5/32 Allen screw, in case you want to remove that. Okay. And I really want to emphasize the comfort of that. You with a knife this big and this heavy, you're going to definitely need a well-engineered, well-designed handle, and you've got it here. You've got it. The balance point on this knife is right where the grind begins here. So, if you were to balance it, it's right there. There's the balance point right there. So it's just right. It's lively, and yet you've got the power to drive. I like the way that they have made the blade, that it does contain a flat spot there, and I was showing you that before. But the reason I like that is that if you do like to use, and maybe this knife might be a little large for such a system, but if you do like to use the rod and guide system that clamps on the knife, you do need to have a flat spot on the blade for the clamp to clamp. So that it's not wobbling. The full flat grind all the way up to the spine doesn't make for a real good grab, because then the blade can wobble in it like that. But with that flat part right there, you could, if you wanted, you could use the rod and guide system on this. So I always look for that when I'm looking at knives. The ease of resharpening, and this could be done that way. Yeah, I guess you can tell I'm really taken with this knife. It's a heck of a system. It's a really well thought out sheath. It's got a lot to offer. It's got a lot of horsepower there as a survival knife, and that's a top-notch, top-drawer survival knife. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you again.